Mission control, it's takeoff time. We're ready, ignite. For spaces within our reach. We'll be there to have fulfillment in my soul. This ain't the time to give up, no. To give up, no. To lay down.
Hello, welcome to the 2084 A Space Eulogy Part 3 interview with the cast. I'm Eadie-Conway, I'm your host, and I'm gonna usher in the guests now. Come on in, guys! Get in! Come on in! Come on, hurry it up, you're wasting time. There you go. Hey, how is everyone doing? How are you doing? Fantastic. Sorry about the light, it's a bit hot. Anyway. So let's talk about 2084 Space Eulogy. I want to know the details. I want to know when, why, who, how. I want to know all of it. So, Ben,
Hello.
McKenzie,
Yes.
the director, the writer, producer.
Yeah.
Why?
Why?
Why would you make this?
Well, I took a lot of inspiration from science fiction films in general, and I wanted to kind of create something that, at my level, being as in I don't have a budget to make something, obviously making a feature film or anything like that would be out of the question at the moment.
Not quite Kubrick, I must say.
Not quite Kubrick, but imagine Kubrick, but without the visuals, which is the best bit. But without that, so I could still make something that I'm proud of and I'm happy and I can work with lots of people on. It's a big project, but it's something that is achievable because it's just audio, to be honest.
Okay, brilliant. You play Captain Sands, obviously, the boss in charge, and also, is it Dr. John?
Dr. Johns.
Dr. Johns, thank you very much. And obviously you're joined, Captain Sands, is joined by Mr. Quentin, played by Joel.
Yeah, I was surprised when I got the notice, you know.
Yes.
I didn't think I'd get casted. Role like this, especially at my level, you know.
There is... There is something I actually wanted to know, and it's, you two have known each other for a long time, right?
Yeah.
Is there some sort of, because I know between Sands and Quentin, there's a sort of back and forth, this kind of banter. I wanted to know if any of that's similar to real life sort of Ben and Joel, you know? Any sort of,
I'd say yeah.
I'd say yeah.
Especially that you don't pay me at all.
You don't pay me at all, sir.
I realised that soon on.
A lot of the catchphrases do get transferred to our daily lives, to be honest.
Okay.
See how it's made an impact on us. Yeah, I think we do kind of bring some of that from the real world into it.
From it.
Yeah, and I think because kind of there's a trio, and of course, I can go into episode 1 because I can spoil that.
Please, yeah.
Sands,
no spoilers,
Sands
don't worry.
passes away in episode 1, so of course I was able to come back as another character in episode 2 to keep that dynamic there.
Yeah, I know, it wouldn't be the same without Ben McKenzie. I don't know what I would have done. Actually, I do now want to move it to the guy at the start, the narrator of sorts, Mr. Jack Horder, who is looking a bit pale there. Are you okay?
I am, it is very hot.
It is extremely hot right now. So, do you know why you were picked to be narrator?
So, originally I was cast as Iggy, but unfortunately...
This man, right, you've had Icky?
Yes, I was
Yes,
cast
I
as
was.
Iggy.
And who are you, might I ask?
Nathen Parker, you know. He was a last minute replacement in Jack there.
Okay, I will get to that in a second. Please continue.
I was originally cast for Icky, but unfortunately I couldn't make it to the recording on the main studio day, so they said, looking for a narrator, do you want to fill that role? And I said, yeah, sure.
Well, I'm surprised they even let you be part of anything after you messed up.
I know.
How was it? Just narrating,
It was very good. Both of the times I've recorded for these guys, it's been in a hallway, in a small cubbyhole of a hallway. Because
You said no budget.
We did say no budget. Again, I wasn't available for the audio studio day, unfortunately. I think they're planning against me. They're planning for the days that they know I'm not available. So it was literally with Joel's camera and one of the condensed mics, and just recorded the audio that we needed.
Terrific, and may I say, it sounds great. It seems like you were born to be a narrator, you know?
Yeah,
I love it. Your voice is perfect for radio.
thank you.
And now, as mentioned earlier, Mr. Icky. What's that like? What's it like being an AI program?
Well, at first you could say, you know, there could be a sinister side to being a robot. Well, if you've seen 2001, you'd have Hal. You know, I was originally thought, am I going to go bad at the end or something?
Is he
you know?
going rogue? But
Yeah, but no, I'm just this maybe slightly nosy, but you know, overall helpful android. Really.
I will say, I was kind of upset because I loved your voice personally. I thought it was amazing, and then hearing that you don't have long left, your battery's dying.
No.
A part of me actually felt I almost wept. I would say it was really emotional right there. Honestly, you did a great. I think it's a great job. I think you really do a really good selling point being a B-Tech Hal of sorts.
Got the perfect voice to suit it anyway.
And I'm going to now obviously move it to Mr. Crump over here.
Hi.
Mr. Crump, who were you?
Oh, I was Dr. Donald Irvin.
And how was that?
It was amazing. As a big fan of the first one, I was so pleased when I got the call, message, should I say, that I'm going to be a part of part 2. And it was such a major experience.
So, was there anything, this applies to all of you, you can all jump in if you want, was there any sort of mental training you had to go through, to any sort of immersion, you know, you had to get in to become the character, you know, of Donald Irving?
No.
Anyway,
I was born for it. I've been preparing for that role for many years.
Was anyone else, any thought you had to really think about, who is this character?
Well, Ben funded me off to Poland for 2 years to really get the character development.
Just to get the backstory, I was out with the cows, mucking them out for a bit, just to, you know, adopt that kind of lifestyle.
Cornish way of life.
To bring it back, it helped with the accent.
You ate
as well.
pasties for what was it, 6 months?
6
Oh,
months.
God.
Purely, every meal.
I have heard rumours that, Nathen, you actually put your mind into an actual phone for the time being, just to really understand what it's like to be an artificial intelligence. Is that true?
Well, yeah, nearly why it's the mains.
Oh,
Yeah, I was speaking properly like a robot afterwards, you know. It's just had to get that, well, a normal boring voice, just had to, you know, try and, you know, sound, have a sort of human emotion, but at the same time, no. I'm just always emotionless. But I can sympathise at the same time.
You get it, you're a robot, but you want to have feelings, you know? You
Yes.
just can't. I get that. We will be back in a short while, because I have forgotten what to say next. But we are back. Hello and welcome back to the 2084 A Space Eulogy pre-part 3 interview with the cast. I'm Lewis Eadie-Conway. I'm joined with the almost entire cast, should I say. We have Jack Horder, Ben McKenzie, Joel Kaufman-Hill, Dylan Crump, and Nathen Parker. Let's get back to it. I was going to say before the break, I wanted to know a bit more about the process of what, you know, directing and writing, all of this sort of thing. So, can you please tell me a bit more about, you know, what it's like actually doing a radio show or radio talk?
It's a very enjoyable experience, but it's pretty challenging because, like, when you look on your computer screen and it's just empty, and you're like, I have to write all this in, and it is pretty time consuming. What I do is I leave kind of the formatting of the script, and I do that after. I just literally try and get something down and then see if I can kind of get a snowball effect where it's just coming out the story. And then I'll go back over it and I'll look and I'll be like, oh, those characters probably wouldn't speak like that, or those characters wouldn't have done those things, or those characters sound similar. That's an issue I run into a lot. So then I would try and go in and I would change the way of phrasing it, or change how. But I'd usually have the kind of outcome of the scene already kind of. I'd have the outcome of the scene already planned.
Hold on. What is that mug, can I just ask?
That is some merchandise, which will be on sale soon. 2084 A Space Eulogy mugs. You can pre-order yours.
I think I'm pre-ordering multiple after, you know, now.
Wonderful.
That's my whole supply. Okay.
Whole section covered.
So, with inspiration, obviously, 2001: A Space Odyssey, definitely. Heavily influenced.
That really took, like, with the characters, as in, we've got, you know, a mission to another planet. We've got 2 kind of main people on board, and we've also got an AI on board as well.
Exactly.
There's a lot of inspiration taken from it.
Similarities.
part 2 takes a shift because obviously you're on Mars, or
Yeah, part 2. Basically, part 1 was written in a way where it could be kind of self-contained as a story. So you can go into part 1 and finish part 1 and be like, that's enough. That's good.
Okay.
But that's a story in itself. Part 2 is very much a continuum of part 1, and you have to have known what's going to happen. It also doesn't resolve like part 1, so you don't know what's going to happen in part 3.
Was there an inspiration for part 2? Because I know it's wildly different from...
Yeah, it's I'd say I wouldn't say inspiration, but I'd say just me finding the way I write a lot easier.
Okay.
Because I had a whole year to kind of develop on the story.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a lot more comedic than the first. The first one was a lot more serious. Of course, there's some kind of comedy to be found within it being serious, but obviously the second one is a lot faster paced, flashbacks, non-linear.
I mean, how much
happening.
fun and comedy can you have with the destruction of Earth?
That's why, yeah. The first one was a bit bleak, but I thought we'll have 2 to jazz it up again before the final kind of part 3, where we've got a resolution, hopefully, to the entire story.
Okay, so you got part 1. It's the serious. We're getting into it. Part 2, you got the comedy. Still, it's
Relax, keep the audience.
It's okay, and then at the end. What about part 3? Is there anyone who knows anything about him?
I know about part 3.
Oh, obviously you do, but
I've only actually confirmed
Joel's
with
looking a
one
bit
other.
looking at it rosy.
I'm
over
kind
there.
of script reviewer.
Oh.
I've been there from the start. I actually co-wrote the first episode.
Oh, did you? Didn't really include that. Weird.
Mm.
I was
Anyway.
trying to overlook that.
Yeah. I arguably wrote the best scene.
Oh, what? Which
Short
one?
and sweet. Scene
The
3.
shortest T2.
Scene 2.
No,
Yeah, scene 3.
scene 2. It's by far the shortest scene.
Okay.
That's the best.
Okay. Anyway, what's part 3 looking like? What's it feeling like?
I mean,
We can't read any spoilers
think
at the
it-
moment.
okay.
it's looking good.
Okay, I'll switch
I
it
know.
then. I'm gonna switch it then. Is there any other members of the cast? Because obviously you don't know anything. I'm assuming.
Just kept it very quiet.
Yeah. Right. Very under the. Yeah. Is there any things you would like to, or any things that you think might happen in part 3? We'll go left to right with Nathan first.
Well, I'm really unsure actually what's going to happen to old Icky in the future. Last time I heard him, he's been shut down. He was gone for
I know,
something.
A cup fell off my desk. My girlfriend came in. What's wrong? I said, Icky's gone. And I said, oh no. Hopefully we may be able to see more of Icky. Maybe. Mr. Crump, Dylan Crump. Can you tell me you got any theories? Anything that might happen? You want to see happen?
Well, I really want to delve into my character's origins.
Uh-huh.
He's got a good relationship with Johns, and he's also
How
quite
good?
smart. Well, he cares for him, but he doesn't want Johns to know it. So he's kind of snarking. You see that in the scene when he's talking on the telecom. He's like, look after Johns and that. So he cares for him, and I want to delve a bit more into John's characters, not John's, my characters, their motivations and where they want to go.
Okay. And
So it's all about me.
Okay. And finally, Mr. Horder, the man who's been looking into space this entire time. Do you have any ideas or anything you'd like to see happen in part 3?
No, I'm not entirely sure. I think I would like another rap and some more music. I was originally very sceptical of the rap, but
Controversial.
it's grown on me. Now I've rewatched it again. I rewatched episode 2 last night, and it's kind of grown on me.
I
Some
felt
great
like
rapping
the
work.
rap would have been more out of place in the first episode.
Yeah. Yes,
certainly.
No, I would love like a resolve to everything really. No, I think you could very neatly tie the bow on every single storyline. I don't want you to leave anything hanging.
Oh, that's a challenge, Emily.
Okay.
We'll see what the writing team can do about that one.
Now, I want to bring it back a little bit to the music you mentioned, because I believe is it mostly you, or is it, or is it all, like...
So, the intro music
Yeah.
is obviously a classical piece by Richard Strauss,
Mhm.
taken from 2001, if
Of
people have
course.
seen the film. I thought that's the only proper way to kind of open this kind of sci-fi
Yeah.
adventure. But apart from that, some of the instrumentals I did, I've made previously, and I thought, that could be a good kind of transition between scene music, or that could be a good little ending kind of outro. But for the actual songs, yeah, they are my own creations.
Oh, really?
Of what I usually do with writing is I would write the script, and then when the song's needed, stop writing the script, write the song, because then I would know what the lyrics are, like where I am in the story and what I want to be happening at that time. So the characters at this point in the story are feeling like this, or they're knowing this much information, but not this.
So it's all key to what's
happening.
happening. Okay.
Yeah.
So is there any sort of hints, anything in the soundtrack of Part 3? Possibly. You're not saying anything?
Is there any hints in
That's-
Part 3?
Is there any sort
Towards
of...
Part
Yeah,
3.
sorry, is there any sort of... sorry, I've worded that wrong.
There's a
Allow
lot
me-
of building up to the
allow me
fact
to re-
of
have
he needs
you-
to get back to Sans.
Okay,
you know?
yeah, so is there any sort of...
I came back to him in the dream and I was like, make me proud in his dream.
Mm.
And obviously,
Happens in real life as well,
yeah,
to be honest.
there's going to be a massive shock when he gets back to his ship and finds me kind of, you know, in a state that
Scattered.
no one wants to see their friend in.
But is there any sort of... So how far ahead is the music of this, in Part 3?
So I've written 2 songs.
Oh, have you?
At the moment, I've written the kind of we're back in it, happy little number, and then kind of the shock of what's happened here. It's a bit sad, that one.
So you've written it, you remember how it goes, right? You like...
yeah, no, not good.
That's really strange, because as it turns out,
Oh, no.
we have a guitar on set right now. And I believe it's tuned just to the song. That's strange. So, would you like to give it a go?
Can do.
Okay, thank you very much.
As luck can have it, and there's another pick on there, I think.
He has... Oh, would you see...
Somewhere.
Almost as if this is staged.
Oh, yeah.
Weird, that. Would you look at that?
It's almost as if the lights are gonna like.
It's almost as if something was planned. I don't know, though.
Certainly wasn't.
A real treat.
It's amazing, really.
A real treat, this one.
Oh gosh, the lights have changed.
Make sure it's tuned all right. Nice and crisp tuning there.
No one's getting fired today.
So this is a song that obviously is going to lead on. It's obviously relevant to what's happening in the story. This is just goes a little something like this. We were meant to stay together, you, Icky and me, on a selfless space endeavor, Neptune, Earth and in between. We flew across the cosmos, right past the planet Mars, where I ended up without you for another trip to start. It wasn't only shock you taught me, you helped me with advice, and you gave me your support when a broken heart felt cold as ice. And I tried to get back to you, but time wasn't on your side. But please know, Captain, please know that I tried. I want you to know, I want you to know, that when I joked about not getting paid at all, I said it all in jest to you, my closest friend. And if given another chance, you know that I would do it again.
Take the cue. There we go.
First verse and chorus of the song.
Oh yeah, that was lovely. Well, honestly, if that is just, the first part, I cannot wait to hear everything else that this has. This sounds honestly incredible. I'm sorry, I'm blown away by that. I was not
Very
expecting
good.
that, let me just say. Okay. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for being here, honestly. Let's have once again a nice send off for Nathen Parker, the voice of Icky. Dylan Crump as Dr. Irving. Joel Kaufman-Hill as Quentin. Jack Horder as the narrator. And of course, Ben McKenzie as Captain Sans and as Johns. Please, big round. I would also like to thank those who aren't here with us, who couldn't be here. Holly Kaufman-Hill, Gemma McKenzie, Ashley Rook, George Clist, and Toby Webb, our cameraman, and Mission Control.
Come say hi.
Come here.
Come say
Go
hi.
away.
He's not
I don't pay you nothing for nothing. Come here.
He's not dressed for the camera,
I'm
but
not dressed at all.
Okay.
Back to your post now.
Don't trip over the audio cables.
You've had your screen time.
Thank you everyone for coming. I really appreciate it. I hope part 3 is just as good as the other, better than the other parts.
hopefully it will be.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. I will see you all again. This has been 2084 A Space Eulogy. Thank you very much.